Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hello everyone. Active learning, creating excitement in the classroom. Active learning is an educational process where students become vigorously engaged in assimilating the material being taught rather than observing it passively in a lecture format. An old Native American saying goes like this: tell me and I'll forget, show me and I may not remember, involve me and I'll understand. This saying captures the potential power of including active learning strategies in your educational activity. Welcome to my class. This is Ghada Aldaw talking to you from 3rd Secondary School in Sehat. I will briefly explain a typical lesson using active learning in classroom, showing you the techniques and strategies I used in my lesson. The educational objectives for this presentation. At the end of this presentation, students will be able to make similes to use in describing people and things, express agreement or disagreement about keeping animals in zoos. As for a warm-up activity, we will play an educational flash game called Put It on the Shelf. This is an educational flash game. Put the items away by dragging the pictures to the shelf above the words that they match.
Net, drum, tack, bell, sun, tent, bug, hand, jam.
Great job!
The first strategy I used in this lesson is called Think, Pair, Share. One of the easiest ways to get students talking about a topic in class. Teacher asks students to make a word for the picture. After sharing the answers, teacher asks one of the students to come to the board and form a word for the photograph they see. Smile is the correct word for the picture, so that's smile. Teacher then creates another word from the same letter just by adding one more letter to the word. And so I'm going to add the letter I to this word, giving it a space. The teacher creates a new word. It's called simile. The teacher says that we usually smile when we use a simile. We smile when we hear it from somebody else. Students will think about the word simile. The teacher will ask them what is a simile, and then after thinking about this question, then the answer will be revealed that similes compares things that are not alike. We have a picture of sugar, candy, and mother. The teacher will ask them what's the relationship, what's in common between the pictures. At the end we have the answer: my mom is as sweet as sugar. Ask students to write the name of the animals under the photographs. Students will write the names of these animals in English. After 1 minute, students will be asked to come to the board and write the names under each picture. So we have a mouse here, a fox, a mule, a bird, an ox, and the turtles. Students will be given another activity to complete the similes with the correct animals from the photograph above. And to answer, they will be given only 1 minute, and to answer this activity, I created a game, an interactive game. They will have to come to the board to drag the arrows into the correct picture. So they will complete the similes with the correct animals. He is as strong as fox. Correct. She's as quiet as a mouse. I'm as free as a bird. She's as smart as a fox. He's as slow as a tortoise. You are as stubborn as a mule. The students will also have another game. This is another interactive game, fun game to teach similes. As brave as a lion. As busy as a bee. As smart as a fox. As light as a feather. Then we move on for another activity, for another point in this lesson, teaching pronunciation, telling them that to sound like a native speaker, you have to learn about linking words. English native speakers link words when they speak. Linking is the merging of multiple words together until they sound as if they are only one word. Linking words, linking consonant to vowel, we write it like this, but we say it like this, it's enough. We write it like this, but we say it like this. This is an apple. Students will practice saying the similes, linking the appropriate words. They will listen and compare their pronunciation with that one on the CD.
Unit 8, Lesson 1, Track 33.
1. He's as strong as an ox. 2. She's as quiet as a mouse. 3. I'm as free as a bird. 4. She's as smart as a fox. 5. He's as slow as a tortoise. 6. You're as stubborn as a mule.
The next strategy used here is called the 1-minute paper. This is a highly effective technique for checking students' progress, both in understanding the material and in reacting to the lesson. Students are asked to take out a blank sheet of paper, ask them to make similes about members in their family, and give them 1 or perhaps 2, but not many more, minutes to respond. In this activity, I used the strategy called focused listed. Students will list the names of the animals on the photograph. So I'm also gonna use the flashlight to cover the picture, and I'll ask them if they remember the animals in the picture, and I ask them to name the animal. So as we have here a tiger, wolf, panda, fox, tiger again, bird, panda, parrots, and so on. So just to list and to remember the names of the animals on the photographs. Here, this is a brainstorm strategy. Students are asked to recall what they know about the causes of extinction by generating terms and ideas related to it. So students are going to come to the board and to use the active board to write the causes that they know. So I'm going to just use a color here. What causes the problem of extinction? For example, pollution. Pollution. T-I-O-N. Hunting. Hunting. Global warming. Then students are going to have a reading skill. They'll practice reading. So they are going to have to skim and scan the text. Here students are going to skim the text. They will look at the photographs, the title, the pictures, the paragraphs about the reading. Students are going to scan the reading and complete the given worksheets. They will be given a time to work and in the article and complete the given worksheets. After the time mentioned, the teacher is going to reveal the answers with the students. So the answering the worksheet together with the students checking the answers. Then I'm going to use another strategy which is called jigsaw teamwork. This is a cooperative learning exercise. The text is divided into pieces. Each member of a team is assigned to read and become an expert on a different piece of the text. Then, after each person has become an expert on their piece of the text, they teach the other team members about that text piece. And finally, after each person has finished teaching, the text has been reassembled, and everyone in the team knows something important about every piece of the text. And at the end of this activities and strategy, everyone will give the answer with the teacher, revealing the answers with the teacher. This is called the jigsaw teamwork strategy. The next strategy used here is called two-column method. Teacher gives strips of arguments about zoos, as you can see here. I give them strips of arguments about zoos to each group and ask them to read the argument. Teacher writes the headings for zoos or against zoos on the board and invites students to come up and write their ideas under the correct headings. So students are going to distribute the strips under for zoos or against zoos. This is an interactive game which I create for the same strategy two-column method. They will have to come to use the active board in order to drag a word, drag a phrase, read it, and then put it in the correct column. Suffer from stress. Safer from extinction, forces, animals are in prison. animals. Okay. In this activity, students are going to write a paragraph. This strategy is called the 3 minutes paper writing. Of course, this is a highly critical thinking. Teacher will tell students, I'm going to tell the student that they are now going to work in pairs to write a short paragraph of between 30 and 50 words. Divide the class in half, the fors and the againsts. Explain that fors should be presenting arguments in favor of Zeus, and against should be presenting arguments against Zeus. The teacher will remind the students to use appropriate connecting phrases to link their ideas. So these are the linking phrases that students should be used in their paragraph. Of course, they have timer. In this activity, I used a strategy called role play. This is a role play. A role play. Here, students are asked to act out a part. In doing so, they get a better idea, of course, of the concepts and theories being discussed in this lesson with a role play. The teacher is going to present the problem that the animals are unhappy in zoos, and that the animals are complaining about their bad situation in captivity. Of course, 2 volunteer students pretend to be animals in captivity using animals' puppets. The teacher will provide the students with some vocabulary and sentences to use in their act. Students are giving these 2 cards. Here we have a study case, and they are going to make debate after watching the play, after watching the role play. The students are going to discuss and analyze the case with these questions, using the debate questions, and they are going to express their opinion. They are going to express their opinion about keeping animals in captivity. They are going to use the phrases of agreement and disagreement in the box below as they discuss and as they express their opinions. Students are given these 2 cards to make their debate using the questions and expressions. And finally, at the end of the class, the students are going to make a vote on whether they are for or against zoos, telling them that your vote counts. At the end of the class, students are going to revise the vocabulary taught in this lesson. For example, we have species there as a new vocab, native habitat as a new vocab, the area where a particular species lives, and the word extinct. So these are some of the new vocabulary that students are going to revise at the end of the lesson. This is the homework. Students should be given a homework. That's it. Thank you for listening. With my regards, Ghada Al Daoud. Thank you.